Hey everybody, I hope all is well. We're going to be talking about extraction, but we're going to see how the TDS, the strength level of the coffee, affects the extraction. Okay, so we have three different examples here. We got a 1 to 10 ratio, a 1 to 15 ratio, and we also have a 1 to 20 ratio. The way we went about it is that we had 10 grams of coffee. We used a Hario V60, okay? Keep that in mind. 10 grams of coffee, so that's the constant. We use 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's also a constant. And then the other things that we did was we did a 30-second bloom on each of the coffees, and then we did 2 pulses. So now what we have in front of us is the coffee, the actual coffee. We may taste some, we may not. These coffees are already cooled down and everything, just for experimental reasons to see which one we like probably. But that's not even the experiment right now. So the biggest thing that we're really trying to focus on is like, what is happening with the extractions of these coffees based off the TDS reading. So what can we learn about this? Into science into play here, we understand that if we keep everything mostly constant and we change the only variable of the actual brew ratio, that we're going to get different extractions from the coffee. And again, I would say that my technique or the way I brew the coffees weren't perfect, but they more so looked very similar, especially the 1 to 10 ratio, especially the 1 to 15 ratio and also the 1 to 20 ratio. Since there was less coffee in the 1 to 10, it came out to what it did. The bed looked a lot more even and more distributed when it comes to extraction. What does this mean for you? I think take from this simple experiment is that when you're actually brewing your cup of coffee, now you can be like, okay, how can I manipulate the extraction? Not based off the grind, but how much coffee I put in. And then you may realize too that if you do it that way, you may like the taste of it. You may not. But those are some of the variables that you're kind of playing around with, especially let's just say you do have a coffee that's already ground and you can't really change the grind size, the fineness, the coarseness or whatnot of that coffee. These are some of the things that you can play around with in order to get a more ideal taste of coffee that you may want to drink. Those are the things that we are really trying to gather or understand. So no matter what situation you're in, you can always get something that tastes decent, You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's the beauty of all this. Why would you buy this, right? You don't really need to. I think by me kind of giving you some of the information and parameters that you may be going through, I think that's going to be the most critical part about this, by changing 1 or 2 different variables. And as you can see in this experiment, the biggest things that we changed was the brew ratio. Now you're probably more so getting to a place to where even you may think that you messed up by changing the next variable, like what we did with the brew ratio. You're probably getting closer to the ideal cup, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, so before we actually conclude right now, let's just go ahead and taste these coffee and to kind of get an idea of the things that we are truly doing when it comes to enjoying coffee as we brew coffee. So let's go ahead and taste the weaker version, okay? The 1 to 20 version. Without you knowing all this stuff, yes, it is weaker. Is the taste there? Not so much, but we know that we can change up the taste of the coffee based off brew ratio. So let's go on to the next one to see how that tastes in relations to the 1 to 20 ratio. We're still missing the spunk that I'm used to with this particular coffee, but it is considerably a lot better compared to the other one. Okay, let's taste this one, the 1 to 10 ratio, the stronger version. I think this is just right. I'm not tasting any over extraction really. There's no real bitterness in this coffee. It's not crazy strong either. It is stronger than the other two, but the coffee is more approachable. It's something that I can enjoy drinking, so it works a lot better. So just by changing the brew ratio, you can get a lot closer to what you think the coffee will taste like. And the beauty of this is that that's up to you. That's your taste buds and preference in the coffees. So let me know if there's anything else that you would like to talk about, and we can go from there. Talk to you later. Bye.